Hi everyone. Today is the next class of the course. In the previous class, we have discussed the basic concepts of accounting and business, that what business is, how a businessman thinks, what are the duties of accountant, what are the aspects which are involved in the business, that one side is the income side and the other is the expenses side. Whatever business a person is doing, he is doing everything for earning something, and the earning from that business will be one aspect, and for earning that portion, how much expenses he is incurring, that is the separate part, and that is also a part of business accounting. And what is the importance of accounting? That recording each and everything, whether it's a single penny of income or expense, you have to record it so that you could get a clear picture that whether your business is at the end of the day is in profit or in loss. So all these things were the basic stuff, the basic understanding that we have covered in the previous class. Today in this class, we are going to discuss the things which are involved in accounting. We are here to discuss what an accountant needs to do and how he needs to do that work. And for a accountant, for an accountant, it is very important to record everything. The first thing which you need to do is the journal entries. Whatever software you are operating, whatever company, in any company you are doing your job, or you are working with them as an accountant or as a finance person, you need to understand what journal entry is and how to pass that journal entry, how to formulate that journal entry. Since you are from the commerce background, that is very much sure that you know what is journal entry, and how what are the journal entries, what is the purchase entry, what is the sale entry. Of course you know everything, but the main thing is, when you are working in any company professionally, there are a lot of events in front of you which are new. Means you are not aware about the journal entry of that particular event, but that is that circumstances in front of you. And now what you will do, what a normal person do, they just call their seniors or any other person from whom they are taking some guidance and all. They just ask that what entry should be passed for this event, what should be the entry. They know very well that how the entry needs to be passed in the system, but what the entry should be, that is a tricky point. The basic entries are very simple. You know purchase sale entries, you know expenses entries, you know depreciation entries, you know everything. That was a part of your curriculum which you have completed. But there are certain circumstances in the business which comes on routine basis, which are not same in any industry, in all the industries, you can say. In one industry there is a import expense, and you don't know how to enter the import expense. The first thing you need to do is to formulate a journal entry. Whatever event is in front of you, you should be aware that how to record this. Formulating a journal entry is not a big deal, but how to formulate it, you should be very much clear about that thing. If you know what account needs to be debited, what account needs to be credited, your journal entry will be formed automatically. And for that, you don't need to understand all the type of accounts, real accounts, nominal accounts, this account, that account. You don't need to learn everything. We'll discuss the how to formulate the journal entries in this class only. The first thing in accounting comes that you need to record the entry. And for recording that entry, you need to pass a journal entry for that. In any system, in any software, whether it's a Tally software, it's a Busy software, or any other kind of software in the market, whichever software is running in your region. The next thing is ledger posting. Once you will enter a journal entry in the system, that will be automatically posted everywhere where it needs to be done. The ledger posting is not your manual work. Is not at all your manual work. When you were in colleges or in schools, plus one, plus two, what you did is you just formulate a journal entry, then you post it in the ledger, then you form the trial balance, then the finalization of account, everything you need to do by your own hands. But in today's time, is automated. Everything is in accounting softwares. You just need to give an input to the system. You just need to give a journal entry to the system. Ledger posting will be done automatically. What is your role now? Your role is to understand that what the account reflects. If a particular ledger account is showing you a debit balance, then you need to understand that what does it means. If it's reflecting the debit balance, what does it means? That what I have to recover that figure from this person, or I have to pay that thing to him, or what is it? Whether it should be a part of income statement, or it should be a part of balance sheet, or uh, what is the analysis of that account? That portion is important for you. You need to do that thing. You don't need to post the journal entry on the pen and paper. You just need to give the journal entry to the system. Ledger posting will be done automatically by the system. You just need to understand the ledger account. If you are opening any ledger account, you just need to understand that what this account is reflecting. If it's giving you the debit balance, what does that mean? And if it's giving you the credit balance, what that means? You just need to give that. You just need to have that much understanding with you. So ledger posting is not your work. That will be done by the systems. You just need to understand it. The third thing is the trial balance. If your input is correct, your journal entries are correct, then your ledger will be correct. Then your trial balance will also be correct. That will also be prepared by the accounting softwares only. You don't need to prepare the trial balance by your own hands on the paper. Trial balance was a very difficult portion for some students when they were in their plus two, plus one, or plus two, or any of their curriculums. Trial balance was not everyone was not comfortable with the trial balance, right? But now you don't need to. When you actually working, you don't need to focus on how to make trial balance, how to uh, get the debit side equals credit side. You don't need to do that. This is the main difference between the theoretical understanding and the practical working. Theoretically, you need to know everything, you need to post everything by your hands. But when you work practically, the focus is more on analysis portion. At that time, you can't stick to the journal entries and ledger formulation and everything. Then you will be a clerical staff only. what what is your duty is to put the input in the systems completely properly. After putting the input, you just need to analyze what the outcomes your system is giving. What are the financial statements showing, or what are the ledger accounts showing? How much is your assets and how much is your liabilities? To whom you have to pay something, to whom you have to recover something for your goods? That is more important for you when you work practically. The next thing is preparation of final accounts. After putting all the entries, all the journal entries, all the ledger accounts are completed and everything is done, then you have to figure out that what your financials are reflecting you, whether it's giving you a profit or it's giving you losses, or what is your financial position. How much are your current assets? How much are your current liabilities? How to divide these things? How to take the working limits or all the things. If you're having a working limit from the bank and the bank is demanding the stock statement, you just need to understand how to make that stock statement and how to give the complete set of documents to the banks. That is more important. This thing is not important, that how to post the accounts in the ledger, how to post the journal entry in the ledger. That is not important. That is also already done by the accounting software. Let it do. You just need to understand and you just need to analyze the results which your system is giving, how your business is performing. You just need to learn that thing. So if we move towards the journal entries, our first topic, our first concern, we will be having a lot of time on this point because this is the main thing on which everything will depend. All your working on the software, on the tally or on any other software, or your financial situation, your each and everything will depend upon the journal entries. Whether your financials are depicting the clear picture or it's giving the wrong results, everything will depend that what input you have given to the systems. You can't check all the entries of the whole year. If I'm talking about the purchase entries, there are a lot of bills in the purchase account. We can't check each and every bill of the whole year just to check that whether the purchase account is reflecting the items correctly or not. If we have put one entry in the system correctly, that is giving us correct input, correct output. That is for sure कि if we put hundreds or thousands of entries, that system will give us the same result, the same perfect result. So the input should be correct. You just need to focus on the input. And what input is? It's the journal entry, nothing else. For formulating a journal entry, why we are discussing the formulation? Why don't we just learn some entries which are commonly used in the business? Because formulation is very important. Why it's important? Because we can't learn each and everything of the universe. There are a lot of transactions in which the financial figures are involved, but we can't learn each and everything of the universe. We can just be rational, we can just be logical while formulating an entry. We just need to learn the basic thing, basic rules on depending on which everything will be correct. If you have applied the rules in a correct manner, you know how to apply the rules, you know how to see a transaction, you know how to judge a transaction, how to formulate an entry. You can formulate any kind of entry, anything, any event, any transaction which is having financial figures in it, and you can just formulate an entry properly. So focus will be on learning how to formulate an entry so that not only the basic entries, but in case of any other event which is new to you, which is new to everyone, you can just formulate the entry on your own. You don't need to discuss it with any senior. You don't need to take anyone's guidance. You don't need to Google it. You just need to sit and think for a minute that how I should proceed in this thing. That will be sufficient. The first thing, debit what comes in and credit what goes out. If you are analyzing a journal entry, just think anything, anything. You don't need, as I already said, you don't need to remember what is real account, what is nominal account, or any other, any technical terms. You don't need to go in these technical terms because that is a theoretical portion. If you don't know what is real account, what are real accounts, that is perfect, no issues. But you need to understand the rules. Debit what comes in. Whatever thing is coming in your business, coming in, that thing needs to be debited. And whatever thing is going out of your business, going out of the business, you need to credit that thing. Okay, in journal entry, one thing will be credited and one thing will be debited. That is for sure, that everyone knows. But what things need to be debited and what things need to be credited, that depends upon rules. Anything which is coming in your business, just debit it. Anything which is going out of your business, just credit it. Debit the receiver. Any person who is receiving the things, debit it. Any person who is giving the things, sending the things, just credit it. No need to think anything else. Debit all expenses and losses. Any expense, any kind of expense you have incurred in your business, just debit the account of that expense. Any incomes or gains, any income, any inflow of funds in your business, you just need to credit that. Now, these were the basic rules. You are having these rules on your tips. You know everything. Now, how to formulate an entry. This is the main thing. Step number one, identify the two aspects of a transaction. Every transaction, there are two aspects. How two aspects? Just let us take an example. If I say I'm purchasing the goods, if I'm just taking some raw materials or anything, I'm just purchasing the goods. What are the two aspects? First aspects, goods. The second aspects, the person from whom I'm purchasing. These three things are involved. First of all, me, my business, leave it. That is me. I just need to put the entry in my system. That is my business. That is my business accounting. The other two aspects are goods and the person from whom I am purchasing those goods. If we talk about these two aspects, take any one aspect which you think you can apply the rule on that aspect easily. Two aspects are goods and the person from whom I'm purchasing the goods, that is my supplier. Let us say I'm choosing goods aspect. What is happening with the goods? I have purchased the goods and goods are coming in my premises. Goods are coming in. Goods are coming in my premises. And we know whatever things comes in, we need to debit that. So from two aspects, we have decided the goods aspect needs to be debited. One thing is already debited and we know one thing in the entry is debited and the other is credited. If one is debited already, the other thing will automatically go on the credit side. So the entry is formulated. Goods, we denote the goods by the words purchases. Purchases account debit to suppliers account. The entry is formulated. I'm repeating it. I have purchased the goods. After purchasing, I have analyzed what are the two aspects of this transaction. Two aspects. One aspect is me, I am the purchaser. The other two aspects are goods and the person from whom I am taking the goods. Any one aspect, choose any one of the aspect on which you think that applying any rule will be easier. I'm choosing the goods portion. What is happening to goods? Goods are coming in my business and I know whatever things come in, we need to debit it. Goods will be debited and the person from whom we are taking the goods will be credited, automatically credited. So the entry will be purchases account debit to suppliers account. As simple as that. First thing, we'll take up the examples for better understanding. Just understand one thing. What are the steps? You just need to analyze the two aspects which are involved in any transaction. The two aspects. Apply the rule on any one of the aspect, whichever you think that is easy. Apply any rule. No need to think this is real account or nominal account or personal account. Just apply the rule, whichever rule comes in your mind. From goods, I know what's happening to the goods. Goods are coming in. Debit what comes in rule fits this thing properly. So I just debited it. No need to think that purchases or goods is which account. You just need to analyze the two aspects, apply any rule on any one of the aspect. Choose any one aspect which you think is easy for you and you are understanding it properly. Just choose any one aspect, apply any rule which fits in. Any rule which fits your transaction. Just apply it and decide whether that aspect need to be debited or credited. Give the other thing to other aspect. If one aspect is already debited, then you have to give the other aspect a credit thing. You just need to credit the other aspect. If we take up the examples, the first is sale of goods. I have sold the goods. What are the two aspects involved? First one is goods are going out of my premises, and the second aspect is the customer to whom I'm sending the goods. If I say goods, I'm not understanding what which rule will be applied on the goods. I just choose the party side, the customer. What is happening to the customer? Customer is receiving the goods. Customer, I'm selling the goods and customer is receiving the goods. And we know that debit the receiver. Receiver is always debited. So the entry will be customer account debit to sales account. Because customer's account is debited and the sales account, the goods account will be given the other aspect which is left over, that is the credit thing. So the entry will be customer account debit to sales account. Whether it's a customer's account, if we have sold the goods on credit basis, if we have received the cash, then we will put the cash account in all the entries. Any account which is reflecting on that. So this was the first transaction. What we did is just analyze a situation. Just analyze a event, any event which is happening in your business in which the funds are involved. Just understand the two aspects. Apply rule, any rule on any one of the aspect and decide whether that aspect needs to be debited or credited. If you decided that this aspect needs to be debited, the other aspects you will credit it automatically. And if you decide that this aspect will be credited, then you are left over with the debit side only. So other aspect will be debited only. If we take up the other example, purchase of goods, which we have discussed, the two aspects are party from whom we are purchasing the goods, and the second thing is purchases, that is the goods. If we say we are going to apply the rule on party side, the supplier side, what the supplier is doing, he is sending the goods. He is the giver of the goods. He is giving the goods to me. I'm purchaser, he is seller, he is giving goods to me. He is the giver for my business. And we know that credit the giver. So we have decided supplier will be credited. And if supplier will be credited, automatically our purchases account will be debited. And if we want to put the rule, apply the rule on purchases side, then what is uh, there in the purchases side. Purchases is our expense. Debit all expenses and losses. Then also the entry will be same. Purchases account debit to party account. And if we decide that we are going to take this as goods, not purchases word, and goods are coming in, debit what comes in, again the entry will be same, purchases account debit to supplier account. So everything will revolve around the same entry, whatever journal entry, whatever rule you put on any of the aspect, you will end up with the correct entry from every side. If you want, I want to put the rule on the first aspect, do it. Then also your entry will be correct. If you want, I want to apply the rule on the second aspect, then also your entry will be correct. But the point here is the entry will be correct only in the situation if you are thinking the things correctly. If your thought process is correct. If I'm selling the goods and I just imagine the giver side, the customer side as a receiver of the goods, that is perfect. But if I imagined it as a sender of the goods, then I will put the entry reverse. I will put the reverse entry. But that will be wrong. So, what you need to do is your thought process should be accurate and should be very, very deeply thought. You should not hurry on them. Purchaser account, the party account, sorry, is the giver of the goods and we will credit that, and the purchases account is our expense, or we can say the goods are coming in our business, so we need to debit it. So entry will be purchases account debit to party account. If we take the another example, salary to staff. What are the two aspects involved in this? The first one is the salary, and the second thing, how I am paying the salary. The first thing is salary, and the second thing is how I'm paying the salary, whether I'm paying the cash to my staff members or I'm paying through bank transfers and all that. These are the two aspects. If we decide that we are going to apply the rule on the first aspect, the salary, what is happening to the salary? Salary is what is salary? That is my business expense. And we know that debit all expenses and losses. So we decided that we need to debit the salary aspect. The other aspect, cash or bank, that will automatically be credited. And what will be the entry? Salaries account debit to bank account. And let's think this from the other aspects point of view, that if you decided that you are going to you are going to apply the rule on the second aspect, that is cash or bank. What is happening to the cash or bank? If you are paying a salary, that means your bank account balance is reducing. The funds are going out of your business. Whether your cash in hand or your bank balance is going out of your business. And if something is going out, we know that credit what goes out. Cash or bank is going out of my business, funds are going out of my business. I know the credit the things which are going out. So we have decided cash or bank account will be credited. Then automatically the salary account, the other aspect will be debited only. Salary account debit to cash account or bank account. This will be the entry. Moving further, cash deposited in the banks. What are the two aspects? From one hand, I am depositing the cash. Cash is going out. Cash is going out of the business. In other hand, I am depositing the funds in the bank. Funds are coming in my bank. Cash is going out. Bank is coming in. Cash is going out. Bank is coming in. No doubt, funds are in the business only. We haven't made any expense. Something cash is going out and bank is coming in. Put the rule on any one of the aspect. Let's say I'm putting the rule on the cash aspect. So cash is going out. Credit what goes out. Cash is credited, automatically bank is debited. Bank account debit to cash account entry. If we want, we need to understand from the bank's point of view, something is coming in the bank. Debit what comes in. Then also the entry is same, bank account debit to cash account. The entry will be same in all the circumstances, whether you decided that you want to put the rule on the first aspect or on the second aspect. Just understanding these two aspects is very, very important. And correctly understanding is very important. Now the point arises, any other event. These were just the examples which are continuously working in the business. But in case you have came across with any event, let's say we have uh, taken the sponsorship services from some other person, and we have taken the funds on sponsors from sponsors. Funds are coming in. How the funds are coming? From the cash or bank, whether it's a cash transaction, cash is coming in, or the bank transaction, that funds are coming directly in our bank account. Something is coming in, cash in bank account debited, because debit what comes in, and the person who is giving the sponsorship to us, that person will be credited, so entry will be bank account debit to the person account. Any entry came across you, you just need to understand the two aspects involved in that entry. Just decide any one aspect on which you want to apply the rule. Just apply the rule on the aspect, and then what you will see is you have applied the rule, you have decided one aspect, that aspect needs to be debited or credited. If you have decided that this aspect needs to be debited, the other aspect will be credited automatically. If you decided that this aspect needs to be credited, then the other aspect will be debited automatically. Your entry will be formed very easily. But the main thing is your thought process. You need to think, just sit, relax, and think. Every entry, you will find the two aspects only. Now, the question arises from a lot of students that what in the case of the entries which are having more than two aspects? If I'm having a purchase bill and GST is applicable on that, and GST, we are having the four aspects now. That is not four aspects. That is just a breakup of the aspects. You need to pay the full amount to your suppliers. Your expenses, one portion, the GST is other portion. That we will cover in the further classes, but till this time just understand that every entry is having two aspects. Just understand any kind of entry, just think of any entry, you will find there are only two aspects. Just apply the rule on any one of the aspect, any rule which fits in, any rule. No need to check that whether this account is real, nominal, or personal account. No need to check. Just apply whichever rules comes in your mind. Your entry will be perfectly correct. So this was all about the formulation of the journal entries. Now, how to understand the ledger accounts and how to proceed with that, we will be covering that in the next class. Thank you very much.